Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? This right here is the 2023 Chevy Colorado Z71, and I'm gonna give you guys an outside walk around, an inside tour, and we're gonna talk about if you should take this over a Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. All right guys, so let's get right into it. This is an all new design, all new engine options, and all new interior for 2023. This one is the Z71 like I mentioned earlier, so let's talk about everything that makes this unique. Starting with outside, guys. This does have a unique front fascia. Got the gloss black bar that goes across the front. It's blacked out. Bow tie up front. That is textured. Get up close to it. There's a Z71 badging right there. You do get functional vents all throughout here, which is great, and it looks really aggressive on the front there. The vents on the side aren't functional. You get these like lines here. You do get fog lights, and then this one has the LED headlights. You can get really basic headlights on a Colorado. They don't look that great, but it's more catered towards like a work truck, if you just don't care much about how your lights look and the visibility that they give you, because those still meet, you know, basic safe driving needs. You do notice there's a camera up front here. This one does have a kind of gray painted surface right here. It's not metal, but you do get the red tow hooks. This is a plastic kind of air dam down there. Functional, you know, openings right there to cool the powertrain components. And yeah, so let's go back up here, go off to the side. You don't get as wide of a stance as like a Trail Boss with the Z71. That's why I'm comparing it more so to the Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. It does have off-road bits, but it's not the like TRD off-road comparison, you know, which would be the more Trail Boss than TRD Pros like the ZR2, you know, competitor. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. But you do get plastic, you know, fenders here, which is nice. You don't have to worry about that being painted, and it looks better in my opinion. Nice squared off. This one, you do get a nice wheel. Some of the wheel options, I'll be honest, on the Z71 are my favorite. I'd like this one, honestly. And then you get some Goodyear Territory all-terrain tires on it, which is a solid, you know, starter tire. If you want, you can upgrade this as you please. Maybe get some different wheels too if you want a different wheel package. You look at the hood, just kind of back up here. You notice they got these really nice designs, angle kind of cut in. Looks really good when you're looking out of the truck, which we'll get a glimpse of later on. But I really think that's probably like the key design signature of this vehicle, is that hood is a very strong statement up top. Looks great. This has a sand dune paint, which I love. I got a lot of compliments driving this around just for an hour or so. People really like this. It looks great even when it gets dirty, which is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why people like it. You do get blacked out mirror caps here, Colorado badging down there. This has, you know, flat black trim around the window. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy, which is fine. It's simple and it works. As I'm sure you guys know, this all come in a crew cab configuration with the small truck bed. It's only one truck bed now. But yeah, it kind of kicks up right there. Like the little design feature. Nothing too, you know, flashy. This does not have any rock protection or steps on this one. Those would be offered as accessories or options if you'd want. Going on the side here, this does have a nice little indent. It's just a style feature. I know on like the GMC Canyons, you can get a GMC like kind of reflector, amber or light that turns on. But yeah, as far as suspension components goes, you can't really see much. It is on leaf springs. I can tuck in down here. We could take a look. There's something, obviously exhaust right there. But it's nice that the shock tower mount point is tucked in, doesn't stick out as much as the last generation. Then you have your differential right there. I'll kind of give you guys a glimpse there so you can see it. Then full size, I believe. Is that a full size? I'm not sure, honestly. It's not the same tread on this one, but spare tire down there. Going around the back, get the Z71 vinyl on there. Notice you have this side of the bed. This is where you'd put your hand. You're gonna step in. You kind of put your foot on this step right here. I like the texture they put on these steps. It's kind of like the inverse of like a work boot. Both on here is more aggressive. Here's like a more fine tread pattern. But I like that. What they have on this one is the gloss or kind of painted surface. It is metal though, which is nice. This is plastic, but you have your sensors on the side. Chevrolet stamped in the back, nice, and then kind of juts out here. You can see there's some depth to that. And then let's unlock. Let's open up the tailgate, soft opening, which is nice. People appreciate that. And then is your truck bed. They tell this has, you know, most amount of tie downs in a truck bed. You get a bunch here. You do get this 120 volt, 400 watt outlet. And then this has a spray and bed liner from the factory. This one also has the, I'm sure you guys know, one of the cool features they're offering now in these smaller tailgates, for the smaller trucks, I mean, is a storage compartment. It is weather sealed, so it is sealed off from the elements, so you can put stuff here and not worry about having them get wet. They might still get wet, there's still some water there, but it'll prevent it. It'll help. You have a drain plug down there. This little insert, I'm sure you can do whatever you want with it because it's an insert, it's threaded, but this is where a speaker would be. There's a kicker option you could put into this truck, and it'll use this compartment to have a speaker in the tailgate. But I would pass that up. If you want to put something cool there, you can mount a mounting system for some equipment you want. That's pretty cool. You can DIY that. But this is just a storage compartment. If you like, closes up. I have to push it in to make sure it latches properly. And then it has those little handles. And this has a little, measuring meter. It's in inches. It's not the most precise. You don't have those little, quarter or 1/8 inch, 16th inch. And it's only in freedom units. We don't worry about the metric unit system on these trucks. So another cool feature is if I push in the cable into that little indent right there, it'll allow you to bring this, you do it on both sides, obviously, so it can actually hold the load. It has this at the same level as the wheel arches, so you can fit some drywall, some large piece of plywood, and it'll stay supported nice and leveled throughout. And I like that. And then you don't have to worry about pinching it when you bring it all the way in, and when you sit it down, it'll catch onto that, and it's nice and well supported by that bracket. I'm sure if you wanted to, you can probably figure out how to use it as a bottle opener. People will get creative with that. But yeah, I like the side step. It's on a lot of trucks, and this one has it too, and then you just get up there. So let's close that up. You do get Colorado badge, and this has the trailer package, so you have your 2 different trailer connections. You have your receiver right there, so you can tell. You have your fuel cap right here. It's got the capless fuel filler, so that's cool. Let's open the hood up and talk about powertrain options. All right, so they all come from the factory with a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder, right? The thing is, there are 3 different power variants you can get depending on either the trim level or an option, right? So the base work truck will have a 2.7 liter. It's called the L2R. They all come with 8-speed automatic transmission, and those make 237 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. 237 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. And then if you want, you can get the more powerful Turbo Plus, which is the L3B, and that makes 310 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. And then the high output, which is on the ZR2 standard, is the 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. So I'll put a screenshot of the graph. It's a lot to take in, guys. A lot of information. The difference between the L2R and L3B is mechanical. There are hardware differences between those 2.7 liters, and you can't just take the base engine, tune it up to a higher performance output, which is the Turbo Plus, and expect the same reliability, same results. Between the Turbo Plus and the Turbo High Output, they're both L3B motors, and that is they both have the same hardware to get you that the power. It supports both power levels, which is why, unlike a Z71 on this one, you can get the Turbo Plus, which is the base, or you can get the high output as an option if you'd like. All right, let's close this up and hop inside, because that's where really the biggest differences come into play too. So starting with the door, once you hop inside, you'll notice this one has the texture material, the red stitching, DVA stitching. There are harsher plastic door handle. You do get 2 memory seats, because they're power adjustable seats. You do get this textured plaque, in there. It's interesting, but this is like a harsher plastic. I don't like having to feel that closing the door. Nice little cubby here. It's not that big. I wish this was bigger. It fits a small bottle. Nothing bigger than that. They really should have designed the molding to be a little larger, in my opinion. Like I said, no steps here, no rock railing. Hop inside, you get this plastic here. But honestly, I'm not gonna put out plastic there because you're just stepping on that all day. Let's get inside here. Actually, let's show the seats real quick, real quick. They were power assisted, like I said. This has like kind of little red trim on it, red stitching, and then this textured pattern. These are heated and ventilated seats, which we'll see when we get inside further. So let's hop in here. Ugh. I'm sitting really close to this, I guess. Let me do that. Let's close this up here. You get this nice, really cool animation. I honestly, man, as gimmicky as it is, I like it. Makes you feel like you're getting something special, not gonna lie. And all the trucks have this. So I'm gonna be doing videos on the work truck, the LD truck, the ZR2, all of them. So just stay tuned for that, guys. Let's back it up here. Steering wheel. Huge fan of the steering wheel. I love the fact you just place your hand here, huge, really wide open, you know? But nice leather wrapped, red stitching on the inside. Start this thing up, and it'll get me in the first seating position, which is really far out. But anyway, you get a digital gauge cluster, which is the largest in the segment. They'll brag about that. I can respect it. It is relatively simple though. You do get a few menus, trip information, and then you have your music if you want. Okay, yeah, you have your trip information. You guys can see right there. You have music information if you're playing music. Your off-road, looks cool. And there's a simple speedometer if you're on a tachometer. I like this one. I think you want to see a tach. You have your brightness down here, and then this has a trailer package. So you have your trailer brake and your gain adjustment right there. That's it. There's no light switch. People complain about that. I honestly could care less. You're gonna have it on auto, or you're gonna have this menu here. You can tap right there. It's accessible enough. And then there's a menu. You can you go into your car here, and then you go into lights, and you have your additional settings. If you really need to, guys, auto lights half the time, menu there, it works. Your car has to be in accessory mode, which this car will be on in accessory. This screen will be on in accessory mode, so you can do that. Going down here, you have all your AC controls, nice and accessible, heated, ventilated seats, air direction on off, same thing with the passenger, dual zone. You can sync it, and then you have your front rear defrosters, and you have an automatic mode. Vents down here, all window down button. I love that. More cars should do that. They're not auto up though, so more cars should do that. And then they have a nice little rubber texture to them. Auto start stop, you turn that on or off. Hazards, lane keep, and then you have an auxiliary switch you can turn on or off. So only one. I wish there were more. Let's go up here real quick. You have a shade for your sunroof. It's available. You have a button dedicated for tilting, so you can do that, and then you can tilt it, and you have a button dedicated for sliding it inside. So just if you guys want to do that, we're gonna close this up here. You have your SOS, your lights, really simple work, physical buttons to press them, nothing like touch sensitive stuff that you see on other vehicles. USB-A and USB-C down here. With a wireless charger, there's a nice texture. I like how big it is, so that's nice. Large wireless chargers are always nice because phones are getting bigger and everyone has a different sized phone. So having that, and it works, it charges pretty quickly. I charged the phone that you're seeing me film on with this wireless charger, and it did great. You have your drive mode selector here, and these are the drive modes. We'll go back here. We'll spin through them real quick. I may have to close another menu for me to get the animations. Yeah, normal, off-road, tow haul, terrain, and normal. So off-road is for off-road driving at moderate speeds. Tow haul is when you're towing, obviously. Terrain is more that one pedal drive assist when you're doing slower speed stuff. So then you have your auto, 4 high, 4 low, and then 4 low, and then 2 high. You just press those, and that's your transfer case. Day to day, probably being 2 high or auto. And yeah, go down here. You have your park brake, cup holders with a nice little slot that you can fit a phone in, which I like. And the same thing back here, nice little slot. Let me show you. I have a phone right here. We'll give you a demo of that. It's an iPhone 13 Pro, just slides right in. There's some room for bigger phones. Same thing in the back, some room for bigger phones. So you don't have to give up a cup holder just for your phone, which is nice. And then, yeah, as far as center storage goes, it's a little cubby here, bigger storage underneath. And then they have that same texture inside, which is nice. And this is it holds its position, which is, I appreciate. It's not armrest weight bearing, but it gives you a nice feel of like quality interior, which, I mean, for this material, more rugged material, I can appreciate. One thing I want to know is you don't get a handle here, so you have to grab on a steering wheel if you end up lifting this up to get higher, but you do have a handle on that side. And And then, yeah, this has gloss black, which will, you know, carry fingerprints and dust. But the vents are kind of like Camaro-like. They remind me of the Camaro. Open and close that. This screen infotainment system is Google based, has Google built in. So you have Google Assistant, Google Maps. Let's go into Google Maps here, which is really nice. You can zoom this out, which is great. Very cool. I like this. Probably a reason why you don't need to plug in for Apple CarPlay if you don't want to. I will though, just because I'm used to that. And then you get, like I said, car menu, bunch of stuff here. You have your door window settings, which is not much actually. Drive and park, you have those two. And then vehicle settings, you can go through all that. Team driver assist, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive, all that good stuff. So it's nice. A lot of like what's on the new infotainment system for GM, Chevy. And then here you have your main menu, your different, your cameras. This one doesn't have the surround view cameras, has the front and rear. Actually has the side, it actually does have the cameras, hold up. Does have the additional views underneath. It has the trailer view. Oh, it does have the under camera view. Awesome. I really wanted to see this and talk about it. So this is a facing forward. This is a facing backwards, a little dirty, but I believe the windshield, maybe I think you can clean these with the windshield wiper fluid. I'm not 100%. And you can see both of them at the same time. So this is front on top and front underneath, and this is front and rear underneath. And then you have the underbody, just kind of widescreen. So a lot of cameras. I like this camera system. I think it's cool. I'd take it. It's great for off-roading. And then, like I said, guys, visibility out front. You do see the nice indentations of the hood, and it's solid visibility out front. Nothing really to complain about here. As far as glove box goes, standard, not soft open, just kind of drops, but who cares, honestly. Bose speakers, and then you get a little cubby here, which is nice. So Bose speakers, that sound decent. I'm gonna have to roll up all these windows. They are not auto up, so I have to hold the back, and then I have to hold even the front. Let's hop in the back here real quick. Show you the back seat. I'm not a tall guy, so I just want to keep that in mind. So rear seat legroom is it's not great. This is actually pretty far back, farther than I would sit, but a lot of people can test and say this is not the most amount of room back here. USB-A, USB-C in the back with vents. I like the cup holder placement here. Works. I wish it was like there was some rubber fingers to keep your drinks more held in place. You have a phone slot in there, seat back pockets, and then I have my backpack here, but you can bring down, really there's no handle here. So you gotta kind of just like, is there really no handle to pull it out? They should have done that. Cup holders here. So you have 6 cup holders for 5 passengers. So you're chilling. And then decent headroom. There's a cutout here for you guys. And this little baby, look at this little tiny headrest right there. That's hilarious. Not gonna lie. You can open and close this, which is great. And as far as the door pocket, small bottle holder, plastic here, and then you get that more durable material, and then plastics up top. It fits people, gets the job done. And then this one has a wall outlet down there for you guys. So I'm going to be doing some other videos on the other trims. If you guys haven't seen that already, definitely recommend you check it out. Let's turn off the car here. Oh, hold up. Let me show you the back. Trim has the red stitching perforation. They aren't heated or ventilated, though, so just keep that in mind. But again, you know, I'll be honest, I'm not going to be too hard on these trucks. They're more for like, I don't know. I'm like considering a Tacoma. I want a midsize truck. I really feel like when something is simple, I appreciate it. I'm not gonna really get too picky about it. Just because these trucks are meant to work, they're meant to get stuff done and be comfortable enough on day to day, but you don't want the like gimmicky features. But that animation, it's a gimmick, but I love it, so I don't care. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. There will be an LT work truck, ZR2, and maybe a Trail Boss trim walk around in-depth video for you guys so we can talk about all the differences there. I like this truck a lot, and I'm honestly considering it, given that you have this potential new Tacoma coming out here, then the Canyon, and then the new Ranger, even the Raptor coming out. So I love the midsize truck segment because they deliver. This has a truck in the back, a bed in the back, 5 foot, not 6 feet, unfortunately. And they sit. The size I think is great for, at least for me. And this one doesn't have a front and rear locker. There's a rear differential. I need to double check what differential it is because I'm forgetting right now. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. Comment your questions. I'll try my best to answer them. But yeah, stay tuned for other videos coming up soon.